Breakfast with Adam Green. BBC. Radio Shropshire.
Now, last week on the programme, there was a lot to process, wasn't there, on the rising cost of living, energy prices, news on more costly water bills, and confirmation that the national insurance hike will go ahead. There's also big concern from the construction industry about the fuel they use to power their vehicles. From April, red diesel, which is much cheaper than white diesel, won't be allowed to be used in things like diggers and commercial vehicles. BBC Radio Shropshire's Chloe Hughes has been for a chat with James Broadhouse, better known as Jimmy the Mower, to see how this will affect his business.
The cost of everything's going up, just from running trucks, maintenance, obviously the cost of diesel as well in there. Day-to-day living, not just for us, but for everybody. And I think every business will be affected.
Will the rise in national insurance have an impact, or is that something that you're not too concerned about?
The rise in national insurance isn't really a big concern for us. We're a contracting company. We do have a small number of employees, but we mainly subcontract work. They sort out their own national insurance. So we haven't got a great big liability in that aspect.
And you are a bit concerned about the rise in fuel costs. So could you just tell me a bit about the diesel that you use at the moment?
As a diesel car goes past. Yeah, definitely the rising cost of diesel. If you look at this time last year, we were paying about 118, 119 per litre of diesel. At the moment, it's probably about 150 per litre of diesel. However, when we maintain the children's play parks, football pitches, cricket outfields, things like that, for amateur sports clubs, we can use red diesel, and that's only 70 pence per litre, so there's a huge cost saving there. However, with the withdrawal of red diesel for our particular sector, or the talk of red diesel for being withdrawn for our sector, the costs could really spiral from going from 70p per litre to £1.50 per litre. That's a huge leap in costs really for us and for the small sports clubs. They're going to have to pay for this. Our fuel bill at the moment is about £12,000 per year, and we're expecting that to rise to about £17,000. So that's a big increase for us.
Wow, that is. And do you have any idea why it's being withdrawn from your particular sector?
Yeah, the use of red diesel has been withdrawn in particular sectors because of the revenue generated. Because we only pay 5% VAT on the red diesel, and the red diesel has a very low margin of taxation on it from the government, their government levy. It accounts for a lot of emissions because it's used in agricultural enterprises, forestry, horticulture, which is what we come under with horticulture and landscaping. So they're going to withdraw it from there to push the price up to encourage people to go into sort of more electric machinery so they can lower emissions that way. However, I really think that they should be incentivising us to move to electric machinery. They should be subsidising that rather than penalising the people who can least afford it to move away from red diesel. If they could incentivise us, we'd reduce the use of red diesel and diesel in general by having cheaper electric machines.
And you did mention this before. Presumably this doesn't only affect you, but also your customers. Are you going to have to adjust costs, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, certainly costs will be adjusted. For the big commercial customers we work for, I shouldn't think there'll be much of a difference. As the costs increase for us, costs increase for them and for their customers. That's how it works out. But for the children's football teams and cricket clubs that we look after, their pitches, their cricket outfields, they'll feel the pinch because really they're just relying on other people's money all the time. They're going to work, they're paying their own way through life, and now they're having to pay extra to have their grass cut through no fault of their own.
Yeah. And I know that from seeing on your social media, you've got a real passion and connection for children's clubs and grassroots clubs, so it must be a bit emotional for you as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, we subsidise a lot of the work ourselves. We go out there and we do a lot of work for these small clubs wherever we can, village playing fields and things like that. We put a lot of effort into them, a lot of time and effort as well. We go above and beyond wherever we can. And obviously with the increased costs, we won't be able to do as much for these small clubs as we're doing now.
That is Jimmy the Mower from Ditton Priors, who'll be forced to use white diesel from April instead of red. The government say the changes coming in are designed to help meet climate change and air quality targets. Let me know if that's going to be affecting your business in the coming months.
Breakfast with Adam Green.